God bless the American educational system, and by that I mean our overworked and underpaid teachers. It seems they have become the sole fuel source of the little engine that could of U.S. society, fighting its way uphill like none other. Believe that teachers have my respect as I point out the absurd fact that most of us attended school for at least a decade and a half, only to walk away without having learned about the most fundamental aspects of our lives. We trained our minds to remember multiplication tables and history lessons, but were we ever taught to train our attention, the very thing that makes learning and memorization possible? We spent heaps of hours in biology labs, but were we ever taught about the importance of body-mind awareness? We studied the wonders of the respiratory system, but were we ever taught how to use the breath to positively impact the state of our nervous system? We were corralled into our seats for an unnatural number of hours each day, but were we ever taught how to corral a wandering mind? A wandering mind is an unhappy mind. So says the title of a study by Matthew Killingsworth and Daniel Gilbert. These Harvard psychologists found that, when our minds are out of tune with the present moment, it's corrosive to our emotional state. If we are doing one thing and yet thinking about another, our spirits drop, even if what we're thinking about is something pleasant. It's not that what we think about doesn't matter, though. Gilbert and Killingsworth found that the emotions of their participants correlated more strongly with the content of their distractions than what they were actually experiencing in the observable world. Put succinctly, being distracted makes you feel worse, and if what you're distracted by is negative, you'll feel even worse still. Furthermore, this emotional expense of mind wandering comes about regardless of whether we're thinking about the past, the future, or pure fantasy. In other words, our busy brains eat away at our enjoyment of life over things we can't do anything about, that haven't happened, or that will never come into being at all. The busy beehive of the brain exhausts us. It buzzes endlessly, sapping our resources. We might manage to find an off switch, but it always turns out to be a snooze button, leaving us to wake up to the same buzzing 10 minutes later. That is, if we even sleep. The same broken record that exhausts us during the day also has the power to keep us up at night. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine estimates that 30 to 35% of us experience insomnia, and it lasts 3 months or longer for an unlucky 15 to 20% of us. The main cause of insomnia is a mind activated by stress, an overabundance of concerns and thoughts about work, family, school, finances, and so on. And then we medicate our untamable mind just to get some sleep. 9 million Americans are now taking prescription sleep medications. Most of these medications are habit-forming and don't resolve the underlying source of the problem, leaving insomnia to reemerge once the meds are stopped. It doesn't help at all that the contemporary situation for many people, especially in the West, places unprecedented demands on us. We are expected to wear more hats, be adept in more roles, be increasingly flexible in our careers, keep up with an ever-growing number of people and events via an infinite array of social media platforms, the very same platforms that are shrinking our attention spans, no less, ad infinitum. Did the generations preceding us have laundry lists like ours to keep up with? At the very least, they weren't reachable when they were away from home or not at their desk. They couldn't be pinged on any one of 12 apps on their phone by someone who is expecting a response within hours, if not minutes. Fun fact, every time our phones go off, our blood pressure spikes. The buzzing and bleeping of our phones put our body on a small but significant emotional roller coaster all day, every day. Yet the issue of overstimulation and continual distraction is as old as they come. The Buddha could have told you about Killingsworth and Gilbert's findings 2,500 years ago. Nothing can hurt you more than an untrained mind, and nothing can help you more than a well-trained mind.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.